Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone. It's your boy Mrs. Degenerate here. Back at it again for another damn video. Ah, your boy, your boy's been struggling this whole week. I was been supposed to get this goddamn PlayStation showcase event out, but Jesus Christ, Jim Ryan had me stuck in his basement. He was torturing me. He didn't like the video that I had last time about talking shit about him, so he was torturing the fuck out of me. But I finally escaped, and I'm ready to give you guys this video. So, let's just talk about the PlayStation showcase. And I'm just gonna say here that if you are a Sony fanboy, or you generally thought the showcase was perfect and flawless, I advise that you do not watch this video. Because I will be critiquing it. And I want to just basically say that, to give my full opinion, I thought the showcase was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was a great showcase. However, we got to keep that same energy, guys. We got to be keeping the same energy. We're going to critique Microsoft and their showcase for E3, and we could treat Nintendo showcase when they had their E3 press conference. I gotta critique this like a goddamn E3 press conference. So I'm just gonna run through every single game and give a quick opinion. And I gotta say, this conference was heat, but let's be real, it was only heat because of the last like 10 to 15 minutes. But let's start off with the first banger, KOTOR. KOTOR, aka Knights of the Old Republic remake, is coming. This was a shocking news, but I did hear rumors that this was gonna be a thing. So it's cool that we're finally getting it. I thought it was very interesting that it's going to be PlayStation 5 time exclusive. I would have sure that Xbox would be on this. I'm surprised Microsoft didn't get on board with this. So they have to wait for this shit, which is very shocking. As someone who's played the original, I think this is a banger. I think this is going to be a really cool game. But I am worried because this is not being done by BioWare. This is done by a completely different team, and this is built from the ground up. So this is going to be like a RE2 type of remake situation. I'm looking forward to this. This was one of the best announcements of the show. So kudos to that. Then we get into Project Eve. Now, I don't know what's going on over at Nintendo. Nintendo's like, yo, motherfucker, we're not giving you Bayonetta 3. So fucking PlayStation's like, yo, Asian developers, fucking Chinese developers, y'all want to make a Bayonetta 3? And Project Eve is looking like a goddamn Bayonetta mixed with Nier Automata. And it looks good. I would almost go as far as to say it looks kind of like also like a Souls game on the way how the camera's positioned on the main protagonist. But it really looks good. As someone who's a huge fan of hack and slash games, like this game really speaks to me in particular. So I would be definitely checking this out if we ever get a release date, because you know these goddamn Western goddamn or Eastern goddamn developers, just like Lost Soul aside, we don't know when that game's gonna come out. Which let's get to it. These games are looking amazing, and I think all of us want these developers to bring their games over to the West, but we haven't seen much of them. And like I said, this game looks great. It looks beautiful, but it needs more polishing. So hopefully we get to see more on it soon. Then we go into Tiny Tuna Wonderland. Now we finally seen gameplay of it. It looks like Borderlands, just in a medieval fantasy world. I'm looking forward to playing this because I am not a huge fan of Borderlands, but this is speaking to me for some odd reason. Maybe because it's taking itself so silly. It's becoming so silly that I really am enjoying it. I'm also a little disappointed that it's just Borderlands, but at the same time, the art style and the commentary by Tiny Tuna, Tina, I call her Tuna, my bad. Tina is really cute, really adorable. It's really funny. So, you know, it's charming at least. So I want to try it out. If I can find some people to play with, I'll definitely be on that shit day one. Um, so yeah, moving on. Forspoken. Ugh, Forspoken. The more I see of this game, the more I'm just like, yo, this looks like Final Fantasy uh, 15 with better graphics. But anywho, Forspoken finally showed off gameplay, and I gotta say, the more I see of this shit, it looks impressive. Like, I love the traversal around this world, this game. They finally showed off the story, and it reminds me, I don't know if my anime fans are here, but it reminds me of an isekai type of anime. So, for those that don't know what an isekai is, it's basically, to put it in layman's term, when a person from the modern world gets transferred over to a basically fantasy world, and that's pretty much the summary of this game. Like, it looks like the main character, she goes from New York all the way into this ancient times fantasy world, and basically she's got to be the new protector and whatnot. I love the traversal so much in this game, and the game just looks gorgeous. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not too sure about the combat. It reminds me a little bit of Infamous, the way how she's shooting out different projectiles like rocks, fire, everything. It looks like Infamous, but we'll see. This game looks incredible though, so hopefully it's gonna be amazing. Final thing I will say on the game though is that it has an all-star people working on this. We have for music, we have some people from BioShock. We have writers. We have Amy Hennig. If anybody do not know who Amy Hennig is, she is the co-creator / writer of Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and she's done the most coolest fucking game, Legacy of Kain. The whole Legacy of Kain she's worked on. So I'm looking forward to seeing this game with her writing. I know the writing is going to be on point for the most part. Moving on, then this is where the conference started taking a huge nosedive in my opinion. Rainbow Six Siege Extraction. I'm sorry, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm getting tired of all these zombie games because we're getting a little reboot of zombie games, but it looks very generic. It looks like they just copied and pasted Siege, and it was just like, hey guys, here's spin-off to a game mode, and it's like, I don't know, I just find it very boring, not interested. And it's funny because I was looking forward to seeing more of it, but the more I'm seeing more of it, I just am not interested in. I'm just kind of in this boat of like, don't give a fuck. And maybe it's because it's a Ubisoft game. Ubisoft had not made a very interesting game in my opinion for years. Ubisoft makes very generic games, and I just find this game to be very lackluster. And also, god damn it, Tom Clancy probably is rolling in his grave because this has nothing to fucking do with espionage or anything like what the Tom Clancy name brand is. Matter of fact, instead of making this fucking game and wasting people's time, how about you make a fucking motherfucking another Splinter Cell game? How about that, Ubisoft? Moving on, Alan Wake. Now, I understand why they had to show this game. I'm excited for this. Alan Wake Remastered is finally coming to the PlayStation, which is another weird thing because this was an exclusive for the Xbox 360. It was a fucking awesome ass game. I highly recommend people play it, but I find it kind of weird that it was shown off here, but at the same time I understand because it's the first time the PlayStation community will be able to play Alan Wake. And this is an old ass game, so I can understand if people was kind of annoyed by this announcement. Me personally, and also they kind of announced it on Twitter, so this announcement was kind of like, that's cool, that's dope, but can we move on? Me personally, I highly recommend people playing this game. This game was fucking amazing. I loved this game, and I think the reason why they're doing it is because they want to see if people really are interested in getting an Alan Wake 2, because if I'm not mistaken, Control and Alan Wake is in the same universe. So, and I believe one of the DLCs of Control hints at Alan Wake 2. So I think they're just trying to test the waters. But Alan Wake is dope, but I think it's not really that much of a game that people really care for. Then, again, dipping in quality, this is when I literally was like, fuck this conference. This conference was literally becoming a 6. GTA 5. Listen, Rockstar. Listen, I get it. Your game is selling like hotcakes for the online portion. But let me tell you what people really want to fucking see. GTA 6. No one cares about GTA no one cares about GTA 5 anymore. GTA 5 is irrelevant. You can go on the YouTube, all the videos for this trailer. It's getting tons of dislikes. No one cares about GTA. I'm sorry. No one cares about GTA 5. Everyone wants to move on to the next GTA game, which is GTA 6. We kind of know it's in development, but no one cares about this game. And for Sony to be wasting so much time on this really has hurt the score, in my opinion. And I just genuinely was pissed. So fuck that game. Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, they finally showed gameplay of this shit, and I don't know. Something about this game is not really that appealing to me. I love the enemy designs. Like, I love how like some of the enemies are missing heads, or like some of them are cathodic. And it reminds me a lot of Evil Within 1, because one of the things I love about Evil Within 1 was the enemy designs in that game was really great. And Ghostwire Tokyo looks like it's going to be taking the same approach to it. But that being said, I just don't know what to make of that game. That game is going to be a game I feel like people's going to have to wait and see and play. Or somebody's going to have to do like a little gameplay playthrough to show how this game operates. Because it just looks like you're just going around like doing hand signs like your fucking Naruto shit. And that's about it. And I don't know, that could be interesting. And I still have faith in it because it's from the same development team. It's from Tango Games. Tango Games made two of my favorite horror games, fucking Evil Within and Evil Within 2. So I really love these guys, and I'm hopefully this game looks and plays amazing. But so far, what they're showing off isn't impressing me. So, you know, we'll see. And also, this is going to be timed exclusive, and I just got to be honest. If you can wait for Game Pass, motherfucker, get it on Game Pass. I keep telling people, like, we could just wait for Game Pass. If you're just so nervous about it, you know, wait for Game Pass. Moving on, Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. More I see of this game, the more I'm just kind of like worried about this game, because so far from what they've shown, it looks beautiful. The banter between characters can be very hit or miss, but the thing I love so much about it is the way how it looks. But the thing that's got me so worried about it is the idea of you just playing as only Star-Lord. And I'm not saying you can't make great stories of Star-Lord, and there isn't a story to be told of Star-Lord being half alien, half human. Because in the comic books, if I'm not mistaken, he's a prince to an empire. So, you know, there's a lot to draw from there. Hell, you can even tell a story of how does it feel to be a leader. What does it mean to be a leader with a group of people who really don't fucking listen to you? And it's retarded. It's like I think that could be an interesting stuff to follow, but this gameplay is not doing it any justice. I think it was a really bad call to say only Star-Lord is playable, because when I think of the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think of these ragtag group of people who genuinely are just misfits. Out of nowhere, just gets the job done. Like, these guys who genuinely are these misfit fucking characters, but for some odd reason manages to save the day. And I don't think just playing as one Guardian member is really cool. I know they're trying to go for the Mass Effect type of feel where you play as Commander Shepard and everybody else is just your assist. But this ain't it, Chief. So hopefully it turns out good. I'm looking forward to playing it. But I don't know. This game's looking spooky a little bit. Then they did Blood Hunt, Vampire Masquerade Blood Hunt. I don't know why they're trying to appeal to the Fortnite crowd, but it is what it is. I think people really want to see is what the fuck is happening with Masquerade 2, and this is not it. I don't know if anybody's going to be interested in this. This is also going to be on the PC, and for what I gathered, the PC version is having a little bit of problems due to the fact of some anti-cheat software is slowing down computers and fucking up frame rates. So I don't know how this game is gonna turn out, but yeah, this is just a game I would be kind of interested in playing, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, this just seems like you're just doing this to appeal to casuals who doesn't give a fuck about Vampire Masquerade. I guess that's a way to expand your audience, but I don't know. This just does not sound like something people would be interested in. Then we get into Deathloop. Again, I didn't know why they spent so much time on this fucking game. The game is, at the time of this recording, the game's out. Why the fuck are we spending time on this game? Why? This was a waste of time. This was a waste of effort. By now, everyone already made up in their mind if they're getting Deathloop. Reviews have been pretty good on the game, so you know it's a win for both Sony and Microsoft that this game did well. But that being said, who gives a fuck? This is not a game you should be showing at a press conference. This is a game that is really genuinely not a game no one gives a fuck about. It's either you're gonna get it or you're not. So, waste of a time. Really hurt the conference in my opinion. Then we had Kid Elysium. I couldn't even tell you what the fuck this game was. Again, if I shitted on Microsoft for doing this, I'm gonna shit on Sony for doing it. Do not show me a CGI fucking trailer of a game, of a new IP or a new game, and I have no idea what it is. You have to give me something. You cannot just show me a CG trailer and expect me to get excited. I'm not gonna be excited. I'm sorry. That was trash. And then they had Chica, or Tika, or whatever the fuck it's called. This little cutesy game where you can swap and change into different animals. And I was like, this game is cute, but it's not a game I'm gonna play. I don't really have much to say on this game. It's cute, it looks like fun, it looks like a game that a little 4-year-old is gonna play. I don't give a shit about it, so we're just gonna move on. And so this is what a part of the conference where Sony finally got their shit together, and they finally dropped what I've been waiting for, first party shit. So they came out and said Uncharted Lost Legacy Collection is coming for the PC and PS5. Now, I have I'm excited, but I have one question. Are you guys not gonna patch in the PS5 edition, PS4 edition of Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, or is it gonna be on discount? Because I do find that kind of weird if it's only going to be something you have to rebuy. I would think that would be kind of weird if you have to rebuy the game for PlayStation users. Now, in terms of a PC, like what I'm looking forward to is the PC port of this. I'm excited because again, this broadens the PlayStation brand at the finest. This broadens the PlayStation community. This allows people who've never touched the Uncharted games or have been always curious about the Uncharted games to play it on the PC. I wish it was Uncharted, all the Uncharted games, but we didn't get that. which kind of sucks. But Uncharted 4 is a really good game, and Lost Legacy is really good. I would even go as far as Lost Legacy is a better game than Uncharted 4 because it's more condensed and it's more precise. However, I will also stand by that Uncharted 4 is still a great game. So I'm excited for the PC port. It's going to be done by Iron Galaxy. They've done a lot of work with Capcom, if I remember. So I'm looking forward to this, and I believe, and don't quote me on this, they worked on Killer Instinct with them, with Microsoft. So I'm looking forward to this for at least the PC edition. The PS5 edition of this game is questionable. Hopefully there's an upgrade path. If not, I think that's kind of scummy on PlayStation to allow you only have only can get it on the PS5, and there's no like patch for the PS4 edition or whatever. And the last thing I will say on this, because I know this is going to be long, I see a lot of people Discord on the PC edition. Games coming to PC. Guys, just embrace it. This is something Sony wants to do. Sony wants to make money. It's not going to devalue the PlayStation brand. It's going to make the PlayStation brand even stronger, because when the next Uncharted game or the next Naughty Dog game comes out, PC players are going to be like, yo, there's going to be some PC players that are going to be like, yo, I played Uncharted. Let me go buy a PS5 so I can play the next Naughty Dog game. Next but not least, the biggest announcement, the most shocking announcement, Wolverine. Holy shit. Now this is when the conference became a fucking 10 out of 10 banger for a lot of people. I, for the most part, was shaking when I saw this trailer. I was shaking when this trailer first came on. And you gotta give it up to Insomniac. Insomniac has gotten to the point where I've watched so much reactions. So many people are genuinely excited when you see Insomniac's logo and name. I think that is a testament on how great the deal was between Sony and Insomniac. I think it's a testament to how much it earned the trust of the fans, that people are just getting excited for Insomniac. And for me, as a fan of Spider-Man, like, this was a fucking shocker. Because at first, when I first saw the trailer and I saw Logan sitting down, I was like,
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Logan's gonna be a part of Spider-Man 2. And then to find out it's his own standalone game, oh my goodness. To have Insomniac work on both Spider-Man, one of my favorite superheroes, and then Wolverine, one of the baddest, coolest motherfucker, one of my favorite X-Men character, is truly great. In terms of the game is in early development, so don't expect anything from it soon, but I have faith that Insomniac's gonna bring it. I think the only thing that I'm very curious on is if it's going to get the heart of Wolverine, because Wolverine, a lot of people saying, well, we want the game to be rated R, we want the game to be bloody and gory, but one of the things I've read in the blog post that they had on this game is the idea of that this is going to be an emotional, story-driven game. And for me, already, it brought a smile to my face, because a lot of people seem to forget that Wolverine, while can be a vicious person, can be an asshole, is the person in the X-Men team that's like, yo, fuck it, man, I'm out. Like, he goes by his own rules and don't give a fuck about anybody shit. Wolverine has a heart, and I think that's what makes him a compelling character, is that he has moments of vulnerability, he has moments of weakness, he has moments of caring and loving people. He cares and respects a lot of people. So if the game could tap into that and also find a way to tie it into the Spider-Man universe, I think that would be great. This announcement was the best part. Then they were like, let's let everybody catch their breath, because I know everybody was shaking. Let's show off Gran Turismo 7. I'm not into racing games all too much, and with the $70 price tag, these are one of the situations where I'm just like, Well, since your game is now $70, um, would I really buy this game? Not really. It looks great. It looks good, but I'm not into racing games. Compose that to Forza Horizon, guys, which is going to be on Game Pass, and that's going to be free on Game Pass. I don't know, a $70 game, racing game for someone who's not a racing fan. I think that's a hard. I really feel like that's a hard pill to swallow. Again, don't mind the $70 pricing all too much, but if you're gonna say $70 for a racing game, I'm always gonna look at you like, yeah, I'll wait for a price cut. These are just kind of the situations you deal with when you decide to raise the price of the game. Now, people's gonna be very picky on a game. I would love to try it out, but I'm just not into racing games. Maybe when a sale comes. Then they went back on the horse and announced Spider-Man 2. Listen, this is the moment where I generally have to praise Insomniac. Insomniac could have just said, here's Wolverine, and that's it. No, the simple fact that they dropped fucking Spider-Man 2 trailer just solidified themselves as one of, if not the strongest PlayStation studios. They are literally carrying the PlayStation banner on their back. Not only did they drop Spider-Man Miles Morales, these motherfuckers 10 months later dropped Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart, which was a fun game. Not a game I would usually play, but a fun game nonetheless. Then they was doing upgrade paths. Then they were doing patches for the games and adding more content and more things. And now to say we're doing Wolverine and now Spider-Man 2 is amazing. I have no words except I'm excited. I am genuinely excited. Insomniac, we trust. In Insomniac, we trust. This is all I gotta say for these guys. All I have to say for this game, because there was no gameplay, sadly. But what I will say on the whole situation is that I love the little changes they made to Spider-Man and Miles' costume. If you thought I love the advanced suit in the first game, the little changes they've done with the advanced suit looks even more better. And then you have Venom. Venom, motherfucker. They finally showed Venom. And he just was badass. And he's being voiced by the Candyman, the original Candyman actor. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this game's going to be a 2023. If you do not own a PS5 by then, something's wrong with you. Something's generally wrong with you. You need to hop on PS5. This was generally Insomniac, man. I have no words for them. These guys are amazing. And then to wrap it up, Santa Monica came out and was like, yo, we got that God of War for you. And so they showed God of War Ragnarok. And after listening to a little bit of the discord between this game, I could see why people's a little worried about this game. I will say the game does look a little cross-gen. Like, it looks a little bit samey, but at the same time, the scope of it is way bigger. Like, I've watched the trailers multiple times, and the scope of it looks impressive and great. And especially if you're watching this in 4K, God, this game was fantastically beautiful. I think the only thing I'm worried about a lot of things of this game. However, for one, I am worried that this is from what I've gathered, this is the last God of War game taking place in the Norse mythology. Cory Barlog recently in an interview has stated that the reason why that is because they didn't want us to wait a 15-year wait for the next God of War game, and that understandable, but at the same time it's kind of like, man, like, I hope the story's not rushed. Another thing I'm worried about with this game is kind of Corey himself not being directing. I know the guy who's directing this, he is worked on all the God of War games. He's a new director, but he's directed all the God of War games before. So I'm a little worried, but at the same time, it's in good hands. So we'll see. This game is coming off. It looks amazing and looks great, but it's coming off as though like I need to see more. I saw a lot of discourse on like how Thor looks. Who gives a fuck? You guys are so used to seeing fucking Chris Hemsworth Thor and Marvel Thor that you're not used to any other different depictions of Thor. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. Other than that, the game looks incredible. They added new combat moves. Atreus looks. My boy grew up. I'm so proud of him. He looks so good. He looks like a real man. He looks like a man now. He looks like a real man. He looks like he's ready to fuck people up. Yeah, and I think the most thing I'm excited for about Ragnarok is the relationship between Kratos and Atreus again. Atreus looks like he's in his teenager years now, so now he's getting to that rebellious years of his life, and it's like, I love how in the trailer he says, Atreus is like, yo, this is my destiny. This is probably my destiny to find out what I'm supposed to do. How about you stop looking at things as a dad and look at things as a general? And Kratos was like, motherfucker, no. And we all know, if you played God of War, you know what that means. If you played the original God of War games, you know what that means, what he means when he says that shit. Because Kratos was a general once, and look what that life has led to him. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see that relationship go forward and how it forms. And that's pretty much it. Overall, I can definitely understand if people thought this conference was overwhelming, if it was amazing, all 9 yards. I understand it. It was definitely a conference that had suffered from pacing issues. Like that middle portion, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, it was all over the place. Once we got to the middle portion, the beginning portion of the conference was great. Ending was a banger, but that middle portion was rough. Again, Grand Theft Auto 5, no one gives a fuck. Deathloop, everyone's already made up their mind. Why are we showing this again? Like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, no. Kid, Elysium, no. Like, if we're gonna give Microsoft shit for doing CG trailers of new IPs, why am I not? I'm gonna give Sony a pass for it? No. Overall, however, I think the good outweighs the bad for me because of the final games that they showed and the beginning games. Like, I'm excited for the KOTOR. I'm excited for fucking Spider-Man. I'm extremely excited for Wolverine. God of War's looking great. I'm glad Alan Wake is finally making its return. Hopefully everything will go great with that. I'm just looking forward to more of what the PlayStation's offering. So, if I gave Nintendo a high 8 out of 10 for their E3 press conference, I'm gonna give Sony a low 8 out of 10, next to 7.5, but an 8 out of 10 for them. Just, again, middle portion really suffered, but overall I think they are just amazing. And again, to wrap all this up, shout outs to Insomniac Games. Like, it is kind of sad that Microsoft never bought them, and Microsoft could be literally made amazing games from them, but sadly they decided, hey, go off and do your own shit. And it's like, now literally fucking Insomniac is carrying the PlayStation banner and carrying the whole PlayStation on their back. Again, if yo, if fucking Naughty Dog ain't on this shit, Insomniac got you. So I'm looking forward to what's in store. But anywho, this is gonna be your boy, Mr. Degenerate. If you liked the video, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And also, just tell me what you think. What was the most exciting game for you? Again, the game I'm excited for is Wolverine. So we'll see how that goes. But you know, this is your boy signing out. Have a good one.